Get your head in the game because your money in the way. Yes, I'm light-skinned, but don't get in my way. Get your head in the game because your money on the way. Yeah, I'm light-skinned, but don't get in my lane. Mommy, daddy, granny, grandpa, catch a fade. Relax. Relax. Mommy, daddy, granny, grandpa, catch a fade. Oh, you don't see color? Then you must be blind. You can't see me. I'm not John Cena. I'm a black girl. I'm a black girl at a PWI. You can see me. Because I'm black and I'm shiny. I really need to pass my math class. Go black girl, go black girl, go. Diploma, diploma, yo. I like that one. I really do.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's something about this girl, man. From around my way. Ever try to hold back your feelings?
Yo, what's up, Earth? It's P. I'm back with a microphone. Okay, that means I'm about to get into it. That means I'm about to get into the topics. Excuse my dog if you hear him barking, because I'm not about to play with him and I'm not about to deal with him. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below if you go to an HBCU or a PWI or a community college, or you don't go to college at all. Today's video is my experience as a black girl at a PWI college. Yeah, I want to talk to a girl who's been to an HBCU as well. I want to talk to multiple people who have been to HBCUs and PWIs just so they can share their experience. So like, I don't know, because people will be going to college for however long they decide that that's still a thing. And I really want to just like, I want to talk to my peers just about what they got to experience in college, what they wish they would have done different, maybe done more of. I don't even know. My experience, I personally went to a PWI. I actually grew up going to a lot of multicultural schools, a lot of predominantly black schools. So like me going to a PWI was my own type of culture shock. So I'm not gonna like explicitly share where I go just because like the internet's kind of crazy these days, and I'm almost graduated. I've almost graduated, and I probably slipped up and said it multiple times before. But your girl does go to a PWI in Los Angeles. Okay, that narrows it down a lot. So my first experience that I want to share is that be super careful with random roommates. I feel like that's kind of obvious, but when you're black in America, there's a little bit of a difference in how other people live their lifestyles. And I'm not saying I'm not saying to just like go out and find must be black roommate. Like in your description of random roommate has to be black. But I think you should keep in mind like your bedroom is your like relaxing space, especially when you live on campus. And if you live off like out of state and you come back to your room and you have to realize you're socializing, and if you're anything like me, like I don't want to socialize when I'm trying to get in bed. I don't want to socialize when I'm trying to get in the shower. Like, and to make a new friend in the sense of like somebody who's genuinely culturally different from you, and it's like not that you can't expose them to those things. I think that it's just important and it's healthy to come back to a safe space for yourself at a PWI as a black person. Now, I had both experiences, and my first experience with a roommate at a PWI on campus, she was actually already my friend. We went to school together since middle school, right? But we weren't friends until like the end of high school, when we both found out that we were going to the same college. Like we kind of just like connected or whatever, and we tried to do like study hall dates. And the only reason that we even ended up moving on campus was because our Wednesday study dates, they just ended up turning into like, well, what would it be like if we lived on the campus for one semester or whatever? Like, let's just move in together. Like, let's just do it. We did it, right? And then she ended up going back home after the first semester, but I was like, I want to stay. And so I had to get a random roommate. I didn't even get to decide like my different qualities, because this random roommate, it started, I think it was spring. She didn't have many options, period, and they just put her in the room. I didn't have a problem with that roommate. It was just, she was literally from the UK. So culturally, like I'm from LA, she's from the UK. It was just kind of hard to connect. And for me to have gone from a roommate that I really enjoyed and a friend that I really enjoyed hanging out with, like we were out and about, we were hanging out, we were doing so many different things together. And I went from that kind of space and coming home to that kind of space after school and all of those things, to having to readjust my lifestyle to like try to make friends. Mind you, she had already her own friends that she was inviting over and, you know, hanging out with. So it was like, people do get lucky sometimes and they get really random roommates and they end up being best friends for life. Like I said, just be careful. Maybe get really specific in your description if you really want a random roommate, just so you know that the person you do end up with, if they are not black, you know that they at least have some of the same hobbies as you, like some of the same music and the same movies. You need to understand like the type of living situation you want to live in. Like, type in there, kind of introverted once I get home. You know what I mean? Like, my next tip is to go out of your way to make friends. I want to remind you that I consider myself pretty introverted. I like to be extroverted once I have been one-on-one with people. I'm very much like, let's have a one-on-one conversation and then like we can hang out with the group together. Like, I need to know you on an individual basis because I can't get to know anybody on a group-to-group basis. If I would have done anything differently, I would have gone out of my way to join clubs that specifically had my interest. I would have gone out of my way to participate in different like events and socialize a little bit more. College is definitely a tool, but when you're focused on one thing, and for me, I've been very focused on my math, my college math, which is very difficult for me. A lot of my other classes, very easy. Not that the workload isn't a lot, but I've been very hyper focused on just trying to get my degree and not really utilizing the tools and the people around me. If I would change anything, and I have one more year, I have one more full year. I'm on my senior year of college because I actually did take a leave of absence to where I didn't do the fall, this past fall, right? So I have spring and this fall to basically like get it together, okay? Get my degree, get it together, make some connections, some more friends, because I have a few connections, but the way that I've produced them is not how I would like for myself. I would say my best way that I did end up doing that was working on campus. If you get an on-campus job, and if you're anything like me, you kind of need a task at hand to make friends. Like, you can't just go up to a person and be like, oh, I like your shoes, and then be like, oh, you want to grab coffee? Like, no, like, you kind of have to have a mission. You have to have like a little bit of a goal, like a common goal that you two are working on, because I like to see people naturally like interacting with the world. And the only way that you can do that for me is like if they're in a club, if they're in a sport, or if you join an on-campus job. Like, get an on-campus job if you can, if you have, what is that? Student worker fund. Work study. You can get an on-campus job and work on campus and they'll pay you or whatever. And I think that was a good way for me to make not only like higher up connections, but also understand little logistics of the school, understand where different people are coming from and what they're doing with their college experience, who's joining a sorority or who's joining what club, or what trips are they going on, what clubs are they going on. I think that student workers is a very good hub to just buzz around, but you get to decide whose vibe you're like vibing with just based on how they work. Period. So that's how I just never had enough time for clubs. I was working full time, like when I wasn't in school, so I didn't have enough time for clubs. The thing about student jobs is not all of them are super demanding. Mine, I only had to go in on Mondays and film like for like 2-3 hours, and then I would edit like in my free time for the next 2 days or whatever and send that over or whatever. So that's how I got to work out my own schedule. There's so many on-campus events that you can go to, and I think saying that is very, very intimidating to a lot of people, because saying that right now is intimidating to me. Like, to say like, oh yeah, just go to a college event and like find your people, like, but what you don't realize is like, if you consistently do go to these nighttime events when you do have time, you know what I mean? Like, you'll see that there's a certain type of group that you're gravitating towards. You'll see that there's certain types of people who continuously also come back. And one day in line, like, you wait in lots of lines and you got to be like, you know, at a coffee shop or at your lunch cafe or whatever, you got to be like, hey, were you at the blah 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 event or whatever? And then you can talk about that with them. That was a little tangent. I didn't mean for it to be that long. That also brings me to another point. Dress to impress, okay? Because when you are at a PWI as a Black girl, they're going to look at you regardless. You stand out automatically. Look good while you stand out. You look good. The microaggressions that are real at a PWI will take you out of your confidence, out of your Black girl magic, and make you think that you are average because they look average. Shine your light brighter than their light, because you're already standing out as it is. Don't hide in a shadow because you're literally in a spotlight. Don't hide in the spotlight, matter of fact. Be yourself. If you're a quirky Black girl, why does this feel like it's not focused on me this whole freaking time, bro? I don't know. I hope that was focused because I'm about to be mad. They will not dress up and dress out. Like, you will literally look like the most dressed in the room if you literally put that ish on. And the microaggressions, like I said, those are real. Ignore them. People that don't look you in your eye. There's people that will say some foul stuff. There's people that will not want to work with you in different groups. There's people that you can just tell the vibe like they've never really worked with a black person before. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, just be true to yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. I know that I don't desire to go to a sorority party because I'm not welcome there in any sort or form. It's not my type of crowd. There's some girls who do want to be a part of that world, a part of that crowd, and there's different types of black girls at a PWI. Don't get it twisted. I might be light-skinned, y'all, but I'm still black, real black. Not here to show you my family tree, guys. My mama's black, my daddy's black, my grandma's black, and my granddad's black. Like, the European that you guys are seeing is real far down my line. Okay, my next tip is to speak out in class. Speak out more in class. But like, I came from the COVID era. I think it was hard for me to readjust, period, just going back into school. Speaking out in class and maybe being wrong or maybe being right really helps with your confidence. It helps with your brain. I like to sit in the front of the classroom because most of the time your peers are not doing anything on their computers. They're being distracting. They're watching stuff. They're playing games. They're sending emails to other teachers. And not that I don't choose to do that in certain classes as well, but I need to sit in the front when it comes to a class that I really think that I'm going to enjoy. Sitting in front of the class has changed my life because when you sit in the back of the class, I think that you automatically just don't want to pay attention. Every time I sit in the back of the class, I just already know that I don't plan on paying attention. You know what I mean? Like, if you sit in the front, there's more obligation because you know people are looking at your computer too. They know, like, people behind you are going to be looking at your computer. Raise your hand, answer a few good questions, you know what I mean? And really be involved in your school experience and get to know your professor. Your professors, especially at a PWI, them guys are rich. Okay, I'm in the business school, right? All of my professors got businesses on businesses. Get to know your professors because they are like so wise and they're low-key, like, they're cooler than your peers. I'm not even gonna cap, especially if you're a black girl and you're trying to just like be more open in class. If you're connected with your professors, you're going to feel more comfortable speaking out in class. Actually, this is my last tip. Okay, so my last tip So my last tip of the day is college math is hard. This is not specific to a PWI, but college math is, can you focus? Girl, literally, like, where's my face is here. College math is hard. I came from a 4.1, like something like that, like in high school. I don't know. I cared a lot more about honors and my GPA when I was in high school, right? Then I got to college and I was like, oh, my first math class, I didn't take that much seriously. And that was obviously my fault, but that's because like, I just didn't think that it was that serious. Like, I didn't realize how much it set you back to fail a class. And it was too late by the time I started to realize I didn't have a great teacher. College math teachers, they're there to screw you. I've had one good college math teacher that I really wish I could get back. I still didn't pass her class, but I got close as ever in that. I got as close as ever in that class, y'all. And I've had a statistics teacher. She was cool as well. She was actually really cool. I am still mad about that class because I passed that class, but I didn't pass that class like to get the credit. So I have to still retake that class. All I'm trying to tell you is get that tutor, find your group of friends, find your community to study with, reach out to people, talk to your professors, shine your light, and ultimately just be you, boo, because a PWI as a black girl will try to dim that black girl magic light, and girl, live it up. And that's it. That's it, honestly. That is my experience as a black girl at a PWI. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, I want to interview other people who have been to PWIs and HBCUs in this day and age. My bad, y'all. My camera mad died and I'm not getting up to change the battery right now. I'm doing my outro. I hope you guys enjoyed that video for real because I genuinely, like, I enjoy talking about my experience as a black girl. That I'm lying. I enjoy talking about my experience, period. Because me being in business school is a whole different story from me just straight up being in a PWI. I think me being in business school, it's not like too crazy of a story, but it is like what you should expect, like your mindset wise, like what you can expect going into different classes, the different classes that I had to take, and the different projects that I've like worked on as my time a PWI black girl. I don't know. I need to get off the camera because I'm tired of talking, y'all. Okay, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment below what kind of school you attend, if you even attend school at all. If you go to trade school. Oh my God, I want to talk to people who go to trade school. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.